Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Empowerment Nigeria. Do you have a business idea? Do you want to take your business to the next level? Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Empowerment Nigeria is empowering thousands of people this year. Be part of it. Register at www.ayen2017.com or call 070-00444444.
Ayen, showcasing and empowering Nigerian entrepreneurs.
Hot Sports cranks up the heat this Saturday with fresh sports news and incisive analysis backed by exciting visuals. Hot Sports, your unique source of sport information, education and entertainment, inimitably delivered via hot, scorching argument where no one blinks. Don't miss it. NTA Language.
Jama'a masu kallon labaran NTA Hausa barkanmu da warhaka. Ni ne
Ekukale lo da yin wise kudedeya.
Igbo murum kachano.
Broadcasted in the language you understand better. Our programs transmitting on the Star Times platform 24 hours.
Àwọn onímọ̀ nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà.
Hukumar tara kudaden haraji ta ƙasa.
Alanye na ọchịchị mba United Arab Emirates UAE.
The only channel that speaks your language.
Anyị ga-eweta akụkọ gbasara ọrịa ahụ nke wakporo obodo anyị.
Kálejì, mo kọ́kùnrin, mo kóbìnrin, mo kí ọmọdé, mo sì kí àgbàlagbà.
Mu yi kokari mu sauke nauyin alƙawarin da muka ɗauka.
Ẹ kú lẹ́yìn tèmi, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò wa ètò yín ètò obìnrin tó dángájá.
Wa ya fi cancanta a ɗauka a matsayin ɗan aikin cikin gida.
Jama'a
masu kallon tashar NTA Hausa, barkanmu da warhaka.
Kí ni ayẹyẹ ọdún iléyá tá máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún yìí rọ̀ mọ́?
NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the Star Times platform, channel 359. For partnership.
Not only the medicine being available, your attitude to your environment, not allowing mosquito to breed.
Race to eradicate malaria hot up as the world marks the day with theme a push for prevention.
We have discussed to increase the scope of cooperation in other fields also.
How to end insurgency in the northeast takes center stage as Bangladeshi army chief visits Nigeria. Plus, Nnamdi Kanu of the indigenous peoples of Biafra gets bail conditions. Welcome to NTA Network News for tonight. My name is Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Closing critical gap in malaria prevention coverage in sub-Saharan Africa is identified as crucial in the efforts to prevent malaria globally by 2030. Uche Nwizu examines the World Health Organization's resolve to accelerate this target.
Malaria has been identified as threat to public health, killing one child in every 2 minutes. The struggle for the control and elimination of malaria has been on the front burner in sub-Saharan Africa, which bears 90% of the global burden. In addition to diagnosis and treatment, the World Health Organization had introduced seasonal malaria chemopreventive policy, which is proven to reduce new cases of the disease in young children by about 75% and has been adopted by 10 countries in Africa, including Nigeria.
Not only the medicine being available, your attitude to your environment, not allowing mosquito to breed, will also contribute significantly.
Despite the commendable progress by countries in the Sahel, the WHO still calls for accelerated efforts to prevent malaria and save lives.
I clean my environment. We need the mosquito net.
Among other groups, the ASO Queen 2016, Nancy Iyama, keyed into the dream by taking malaria outreach to Kadokuchi community in Abuja.
Teach the women how to keep their environments clean, and also so that we can all fight this malaria together.
With the help of the government and with various individual NGO coming up, I believe definitely we will get there.
With all hands on deck, Nigeria hopes to actualize the World Health Organization's 15-year blueprint for the control and elimination of malaria by 2030. Uche Nwizi, NTA News.
A special program in line with the global theme for the World Malaria Day 2017, End Malaria for Good, has taken place in Lagos. Jennifer Igwe reports that free malaria screening and consultations were taken to markets in Lagos.
A local market, but not the usual trading scenario. Medical practitioners with the name market doctors are the ones attending to customers.
The program is helpful because they are giving us free drugs.
Give me card, give me the drug, give me the test me everywhere, every corner. I like it.
They are beneficiaries of free consultations, malaria tests, drugs, and long-lasting insecticides, all thanks to World Malaria Day.
We found out that over time, Nigerians do not have good access. They do not have good access to health care. The reason why they don't have good access to health care is because they go about doing their normal activities, and going to the hospitals will delay journey time, waiting time, will not enable them to carry out the market activities. So we decided to bring health care to the marketplaces.
The program tagged Adopt a Market project with the theme Maternal Health and Malaria, Priority Access for Women, is expected to live beyond the World Malaria Day celebration and impact markets across Lagos.
Doing this initiative, especially in the markets where we have so many other things going on, the sanitary system, sometimes they are not as healthy. So if you can take away one of the things that can cause a health problem, which is malaria, it's a good initiative.
World Malaria Day is used to highlight the need for continued investment and sustained commitment to malaria prevention and control. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Still on health, 24th to 30th April every year is celebrated as African Vaccination Week. This essentially is to raise awareness on the importance of full vaccination through life and remind African leaders of their commitment to provide patent vaccines and ensuring that vaccination becomes a right to persons eligible. Executive Secretary, FCT Primary Healthcare Development Board, Dr. Rilwan Mohammed, says the 2017 African Vaccination Week intends to bridge immunization gap in the Federal Capital Territory. Ifoma Ojinta now reports on the media briefing as part of activities to mark the week.
The Executive Secretary, FCT Primary Healthcare Development Board, Dr. Rilwanu Mohammed, who noted that the African Vaccination Week promotes one of the world's most powerful tools for health, which is the use of vaccine to protect people of all ages against diseases, disclosed that they intend to carry out extensive immunization and will concentrate on low coverage areas and places with high resistance.
Area that we have non-compliance and resistance, we need to move and actually involve them in immunization this time around.
We use this time to advocate to key policymakers, to put immunization top on their agenda.
The youths, we also want them to join their voice through the social media, through a lot of networks to ensure that they advocate for the embracement of vaccine.
As the fourth round of immunization plus days is expected to commence on Saturday. The theme for the 2017 African Vaccination Week is Vaccine Protects All, Get Vaccinated. In Abuja, Ifoma Ojinta, NTA News.
Health experts are calling for strong regulatory laws to guide food processing and packaging in Nigeria. This is arising from cases of life-threatening ailments like cancer due to migration of chemicals from plastic food packs. Participants at a national training program on migration in plastics made the appeal in Abuja. Mia Ogidi reports.
Findings have shown that a small bit of plastic gets into the food from the plastic packs. The process is called migration. This experts say cannot be avoided completely, but close check on the application of harmful chemicals such as bisphenol, which causes breast and prostate cancer, is necessary.
Chemical additives that give plastics desirable performance properties also have negative environmental and human health effects.
This gathering of chief executive officers in the private sector and government officials is therefore to come up with a collective position on how certain class of dangerous food packs manufacturing companies can be controlled and ban be placed on the importation of such.
There is a ban now on fabricating baby feeding bottles from polycarbonate that would use bisphenol A. Pellets are also known to be precursors of cancer, and so worldwide the use of such plastics as packaging materials for food is discouraged.
If they don't use the right materials, the right chemical combination and all that, you end up giving people poison to eat. Sometimes the ink in the pure water that they make migrate into the pure water. As though you drink it, you don't know.
However, experts have advised the public to be careful on what they consume, especially packaged food. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has renewed the appeal for international collaboration aimed at tackling the menace of terrorism, emphasizing the commitment of Nigeria to cooperate in global fight. The Vice President stated this when he received the Bangladeshi Chief of Army Staff, General Abu Muhammad Hook. Status correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observed that the networking among terrorist groups has increased the need for countries to close ranks to counter the threats posed by their activities. The Vice President said Nigeria is concerned about terrorism, not just within the country's borders, but across borders. Stressing the urgency required in tackling the menace, countries, he noted, could share experiences and present a credible force against terrorists. The Vice President said improved cooperation between the Nigerian and Bangladeshi military would go a long way in curbing threats posed by terrorist groups within and around borders of the two countries. He said Nigeria looked to cooperating with the Bangladeshi government across different fronts, including defense and the economy. Bangladeshi Chief of Army Staff said the long-standing relations between Nigeria and Bangladesh has helped in the career development of many officers of the armed forces of both countries. He said there is a need to strengthen relations on the defense and economic fronts to tackle challenges that are peculiar to both countries.
I understand through my visit, this relationship will be strengthened further, and we have discussed to increase the scope of cooperation in other fields also, and I hope in the coming years, days and years, we'll see further cooperation in other fields.
The delegation is in Nigeria on a working visit to improve military relations between both countries. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
As the Nigerian military continues its operations towards ending insurgency in the northeast, aggressive intelligence gathering has been advocated to be backed with high-level diplomatic relations on security with neighboring countries. This is the stand of Bangladeshi Chief of Army Staff, General Abu Muhammad Hook, at a lecture he delivered at the National Defense College, Abuja. Defense correspondent Isaac Nkuma reports.
Boko Haram has been decimated with the dislodgement from Camp Zero in Sambisa Forest. Pockets of suicide bomb attacks have been recorded in some parts of the northeast. Drawing from Bangladesh experience, General Hook said good intelligence is key to checking threats of intrusion and movement of the insurgents, while other areas can be explored in winning the hearts and minds of the locals for information On the other hand, the government, he says, must have political and diplomatic lines of operation in identifying the root cause of the security challenge, as well as addressing the socio-economic, ethnic, or ideological issues behind it.
All elements of national power has to be included in fighting insurgency. We did that in Bangladesh, and I understand in Nigeria also it's being done. So it's a combination of all aspects, national, military, and all elements of national power.
With good governance, that we agenda inclusiveness and national growth, issue of insurgency, terrorism can be addressed.
The Bangladesh Chief of Army Staff was also on a guided tour by Brigadier General Ogale Oloko around the Museum of the Nigerian Army Resource Center. In Abuja, Isaac Nkuma, NTA News.
The devastating loss of lives and property caused by terrorist attacks calls for concerted approach and efforts by all for it to be adequately nipped. This was the consensus of speakers at the National Counter-terrorism Strategy meeting held in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Edidion Iba has details.
Counter-terrorism strategy, NACTES, is a call to action by all Nigerians and governments at all levels to consciously collaborate in order to stem the tide of terrorism in the country. National Security Advisor, represented by Head of Preventing and Countering Violent Extremes Office, Catherine Odida, stressed the need for interstate collaboration and cross-border relationships, saying all Nigerians should identify crucial roles and work towards fighting terrorism.
It is a fact that no one man, one agency, or one country can achieve laudable success in the fight against terrorism. We must all work together, identifying our crucial roles and collaborate to record progress.
The Akwa Ibom State Governor, Odomi Emmanuel, represented by his deputy Moses Ekpo, urged the military and other security agencies to adopt a new approach in fighting terrorism.
How do you educate and change the mind of an individual who may have been indoctrinated or had bought into an extreme ideology of hate and intolerance?
Stakeholders believe that the workshop will cause a reawakening for collaborative action in order to ensure peace and stability in the country. In Uyo, Edidion Iba, NTA News.
With the dynamic nature of the aviation sector in view and getting to grips with quality manpower development, the Nigeria College of Aviation Technology Zaria has announced receipt of modern trainer aircraft. Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, explained how the new generation aircraft is expected to provide students with up-to-date knowledge on air power capability. Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
The college currently has 29 trainer aircraft, most of which were acquired 15 years ago and are quite expensive to fuel and maintain. Minister of State for Aviation, Hadi Sirika, says, age aside, proper maintenance of the aircraft as planned and availability of spare parts were given utmost consideration and value for money. The new trainer aircraft is expected to improve students' flight training experience.
It's a composite aircraft, flexible in training, and of course, as you have heard, it uses Jet A1, which is more readily available in our country.
INCAT is acquiring a total of 20 of these Diamond aircraft, comprising of 5 DA-42 multi-engine and 15 DA-40 single-engine trainers.
Representatives of Diamond aircraft manufacturer from Austria have details of the package.
Planes, we offer the training for the engineers, we offer the training for the pilots, and we do offer spare parts as well.
We're not just delivering things. We want to be a partner, a long-term partner.
Students of the college will go extra mile in acquiring more knowledge so as to go with the trend of changes in the industry. Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
The presidency has reacted to a statement credited to former military governor of Kaduna State, Colonel Abubakar Dangiwa Umar, retired, in which he accused the government of President Muhammadu Buhari of being unfair in the war against corruption. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, says by now, President Buhari's administration is quite familiar with the barrage of verbal attacks that have accompanied the administration's determined war against corruption. In the statement observed that a number of Nigerian elites are uncomfortable with the disruption of business as usual and are fighting viciously, usually via the media. Malam Garba Shehu says this comment coming from Colonel Umar is highly disappointing because he is not in a position to label accusations. Similarly, the presidency has dismissed as sheer mischief the attribution of the unfortunate expulsion of the Punch reporter attached to the presidential villa, Mr. Telecom Adeleke, from the villa to the person of President Muhammadu Buhari. Reacting to the Guardian newspaper's headline report entitled Memories of Decree 4, the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Malam Garba Shehu, said it is wrong and improper to use the isolated incident to judge the character of President Buhari as if he was responsible for what happened. Malam Garba Shehu says President Buhari has not and will never approve the oppression and humiliation of any journalist in the course of carrying out their legitimate duties. The statement explained that the Guardian appears to be behaving like someone waiting eagerly to attack the president at the slightest opportunity in order to portray the incident as evidence of his alleged dislike of the media. Malam Garba added that despite the president dissociating himself from the unfortunate incident and the affected journalist being recalled, the Guardian still chose to go for the president's jugular, holding him personally responsible for an action he knew nothing about. The presidential aide noted that such headline is misleading and mischievous because it was seeking to portray the President Buhari personally in bad light, with the sinister purpose to portray him as an enemy of the media. According to Malam Garba Shehu, since he was sworn into office, President Buhari has not oppressed any media house or journalist on account of writing unfavorable reports about his government. He reiterated that President Buhari's respect for the freedom of the press and his commitment to protect the media's liberties at all times. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira, with 3 sureties who are to produce 100 million naira each. Ali Tukur reports that the 3 sureties must include a 7th senator, a Jewish religious leader, and a highly respected personality with a landed property in the Federal Capital Territory.
The Kanu, who is standing trial along with 3 others on 5-count charge, bordering on treason, illegal possession of firearms and others, has been granted bail on health grounds to enable him attend to his health conditions. Presiding Judge Justice Inyako also said that Kanu must not grant interviews, hold rallies, or be in a gathering of more than 10 persons. She said if any bail condition is flouted, the bail will be revoked. Justice Inyako, however, denied the other 3 accused persons bail based on the reason that one of the charge, which is treason, is a serious offense. She also refused to vary her ruling on the protection of witnesses, stating that they are security operatives.
We are going to resist every attempt by the federal government to flout this order made by the court this morning. Even to tell mobilizing people to the street, I will do that. And any attempt to flout this order will bring an end to this trial.
I am here in solidarity
The case has been adjourned to the 11th and 12th of June in Abuja. Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Still to come, Senate and the House of Representatives pay tribute to the late Senator Isiaka Adeleke. This and more after the break.
Change does not just happen. You and I and all of us must appreciate that we all have our part to play if we want to bring change about. We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices. To bring about change, we must change ourselves by being law-abiding citizens.
Some things we get to fit finish, but no be credit oh.
Hello? Your credit don't reach to finish this call. I beg, recharge your phone. I want to finish.
Oh yeah, just dial *321# for borrow me credit and collect credit where you go fit pay for later. We are talk they go with borrow me credit.
Carry the whole tank of water they come, I beg, no time. I wait for you, sharp. The lover come, you do well. You borrow me credit, well.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
From the south to the northeast, southeast to the northwest, southwest to the north central, the Future Assured project and its component, Get Involved, is restoring hope to millions of Nigerian women and children.
We are actually doing a lot under Future Assured, the program of Her Excellency Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. And I believe what we are doing so far is impacting positively on the lives of women and children in Nigeria, particularly those in the internally displaced camps across the nation.
Get Involved supports the Future Assured initiative. Email.
You're welcome back. Still on NTA Network News. Senate holds brief plenary on resumption after a 2-week eight-star recess in memory of late Senator Isiaka Adeleke from Osun State. National Assembly correspondent Wazir Zayano reports that Senate's plenary resumes on Wednesday.
Moving a motion by citing Order 43 of the House Rule to officially announce the death of the late Isiaka Adeleke, an adjournment at Tuesday's plenary, Senate Majority Leader Ahmed Lawal extolled the virtues of the deceased.
With very heavy heart, to announce the death of one of our colleagues, very distinguished Senator Isiaka Adeleke, the Chairman Senate Committee on Capital Market.
After observing a 1-minute silence before the adjournment, Senate President Bukola Saraki led principal officers and other senators to sign a condolence register. In his comment on the register, the Senate President wrote, and I quote, "Governor, as I fondly call you, this is a great shock. May Allah grant you Jannatul Firdaus." End of quote.
And his contributions to our debate was the statesman, and he was level-headed and was a true Nigerian.
In his remarks, Deputy Senate President Ike Ikweremadu said, and I quote, "We lost a great leader and perfect gentleman whose contributions on the floor of the Senate are usually patriotic." End of quote.
He's a patriot. He's a nationalist. He's somebody who we can describe as a grassroots politician. He's very close to his people.
Other lawmakers also spoke to Senate correspondents.
My heart goes out to the family that he has left behind. My heart goes out to the good people of Osun State and all lovers of democracy and Nigerians.
Today is a sad day for us in the Senate, for her family, and for the people of Osun State.
He was a gentleman. As a senator, he was truly distinguished. As a governor, he was excellent and he excelled. And as a family man, he led well.
He is an epitome of humility, very friendly.
He was sane and healthy up to and including the last point when we adjourned. A very humble person,
No doubt, he has such a credential that nobody can take to him.
A valedictory session will be held in honor of the late senator on Wednesday. From the National Assembly, Waziri Zayan, NTA News.
The House of Representatives also paid tribute to late Senator Isiaka Adeleke, describing his death as a huge loss to Osun State, National Assembly, and the Nigeria at large. The legislature, who reconvened after a two-week Easter break, stepped down all items on the order paper in honor of the late senator. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nko reports.
The camaraderie that usually accompanies resumption date in the Green Chamber was subsumed by the death of late Senator Isiaka Adeleke. After calling the House to order, Speaker Yakubu Dogara invited Professor Mojid Alabi, who is from the same state as the late senator, to take the lead on the tribute.
Isiaka Adeleke no more, but legacy of service and philanthropic humanism remain with us.
And I never knew that people can be so concerned about the death of an individual who traversed the political landscape of Osun and Nigeria the way Egbon Adetunji Adeleke did.
Senator Isiaka Adeleke was described by members as a committed legislator and revered philanthropist.
He is a complete gentleman, a very proactive and very vibrant politician.
He was always in his good mood, a giver. Very sad that the people of Abia mourning today their great son, because the mother is from Abia.
The House prayed for the repose of the soul of the late senator as it observed a minute silence to honor him and late Senator Ajuji Waziri, who served in the 6th Assembly. Speaker Yakubu Dogara, while conveying the condolences of the members of the House of Representatives, observed that the senator's death cause for retrospection.
And the lesson we're learning from this is how sudden one's departure can be from this art that is limited by time into timelessness. An entire membership of the National Assembly, House of Representatives, National Assembly, and the staff of National Assembly first offer our condolences to the President, the leader of the government of this country, President Muhammadu Buhari, to the Senate President, and the entire members of the Senate.
The atmosphere at the National Assembly complex bore a vivid expression of mourning as legislators signed the condolence register. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The remains of Senator Isiaka Adeleke, who represented Osun West Senatorial District, have been laid to rest. He was buried in his Ede country home amid tears from family, friends, and supporters. Adeni Taiwo reports.
The expansive Ede country home of Senator Isiaka Adeleke played host to mourners and sympathizers, among them governors of Ogun, Ondo, and Ekiti, who came to pay their last respect to the late federal lawmaker. Despite a heavy presence of security at the funeral, a commissioner nominee in the state, Idiat Babalola, would have been lynched by an enraged crowd, but for the physical intervention of Ogun State Governor Senator Ibekunle Amosun. The mob was incensed by our presence at the ceremony. It was a tug of war before the late senator's body could be brought out for burial according to Islamic rites, as the surging crowd of mourners struggled to get a final glimpse of the first executive governor of Osun State. In a sermon after the burial, Chief Imam of Ansaruddin Mosque, Ede, Alhaji Ibrahim Adekilekun, described the deceased as a beloved community leader who channeled his resources to uplifting the downtrodden in the state. Born in 1955, Senator Adeleke was the first executive governor of Osun State between 1992 and 1993, and the senator representing Osun West Senatorial District between 2007 and 2011. He returned to the Senate in 2015, a position he occupied until 23rd of April, when he passed away after reportedly suffering heart attack. From Ede, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Federal Road Safety Call, enforcement on unlatched containers. We now take you to Lagos for details of that report. Good evening, Demola. It's over to you.
Kanu, good evening and warm welcome to Lagos. The Federal Road Safety Corps says it is committed to sustaining the enforcement on articulated vehicles whose containers are not properly lashed. This is to prevent trailers and flatbed containers from falling unnecessarily on the roads. The Zonal Commanding Officer, FRSC Zone 2 Command Headquarters, Shehu Zaki, stated this during an enforcement exercise in Lagos. Ken Igbeluhe has the details.
It was day 2 of the enforcement exercise. The purpose is to ensure that drivers of the trucks comply with the FRSC rules and regulations, that all the flatbed trailers and containers are properly lashed to vehicles. It also focused on the quality of tires of trailers, trucks and other articulated vehicles. The FRSC Zone 2 Commanding Officer, Assistant Corps Marshal Shehu Zaki, explained that FRSC is determined to reducing to the barest minimum the recent incidences of trailers falling off the bridges and on the roads.
This is a very important operation that should be sustained, and this is the more reason why we felt that we should repeat the enforcement we did 10 days ago. And the whole objective is that we are going to continue with the operation even after these 5 days that have been slated for the special enforcement.
FRSC says the enforcement of the minimum safety standards for drivers has helped to reduce road accidents in the country. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. We now take a break for some messages, after which the news continues from Abuja. Stay with us.
Let's pepper them. So tell somebody to tell everybody to come join Maya, baby. I did bring too much sauce. Glow Mega Music Talk. It's gonna be a mad over your 10. Yo, where you know we are showstoppers.
I'm your host for the biggest show ever.
If you miss the stuff, you're gonna miss everything. So join me, guys. Let's turn up.
We'll be storming across Nigeria. I won't be anywhere else.
Everyone who is anyone is going to be there.
All Nigeria's A-list musicians.
One big stage.
Live and direct.
Glow Mega Music Tour all over Nigeria.
So watch out, because we dey come. Let's go!
It's the Glow Mega Music Tour with your favorite anchors and special guest stars. It's gonna be untamed. Text music and your preferred location to 207. Use 2,000 Naira Glow airtime in 1 month to stand in line for your free ticket. So what are you waiting for? The Glow Mega Music Tour.
Glow Unlimited.
This must be one of Mother Nature's greatest gifts. But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now, through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Of real orange pulp in every gulp.
Where's the pulp?
Fiber Life Pulpy Orange, now in your neighborhood.
Chewing gum neutralizes bad odor. It doesn't just disguise them, it gives you real minty breath.
Everyday air. Ordinary air. And then there's TomTom Air. There's air, and then there's TomTom Air. What are you breathing? New TomTom 5-piece pack.
I can't believe she just rejected me and my camera.
She rejected my lights. How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Xiaomi A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, is organizing a pre-retirement workshop for officers in both public and private sector organizations who have 5 years or less to retire from service. Workshop title, Entrepreneurship Development Program for Retiring Officers. Date, 8th to 19th May 2017. Venue, ASCON Complex, Tokbo Badagry. Workshop fee, 120,000 naira per participant. Bank account, ASCON e-collection account. Account number, 023005586119. For further inquiries, contact Program Director, Mr. E.E. Akman, on 08037173823 or Program Coordinator, Mr. J.A. Adamu, on 08023683872. Announcer, Acting Director General, ASCON.
You're watching NTA Network News. Federal government reduces number of duration for registration of a new business from 10 to 2 days. For details, let's join Vivian Idekbefo on Business News.
Thank you for joining us on the Business News. Nigeria's ease of doing business reform receives a boost as the federal government has reduced the number of days required for registration of new businesses from 10 to 2 days. A statement from the Office of the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshimbajo, who is the chair of the Presidential Committee on Ease of Doing Business, says it is now optional for small and medium enterprises to engage the services of lawyers for company registration. The timeline for company registration from when an application form is completed is now 24 hours. Meanwhile, Minister of Finance Kemi Adeosun says government has no intention of increasing taxes. Rather, it is working assiduously towards making life more meaningful and comfortable for Nigerians. She reiterated government's commitment towards strengthening social services while preventing the relooting of recovered cash in its anti-corruption drive.
We don't intend at this stage to introduce new taxes because actually the taxes we have are quite adequate. The problem, as you've said, is enforcement. Now, if you're able to get away without paying tax, majority of people will. The job of government is to make sure it is very difficult to evade tax. Now, we've already started that job.
We now take a quick look at Tuesday's figures at the close of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. That concludes this part of the bulletin. Thanks for watching.
Nigerian Communications Commission has identified consumer education as the most cost-effective feedback mechanism that provides and guarantees consumer protection and enlightenment in the telecommunications sector. This is the view of the NCC Executive Vice Chairman, Professor Omar Ambatta, at the Nigerian Communications Commission Outreach Program held in Abuja. Olajide Bello has details.
The Nigerian Communications Commission declared 2017 as the Nigerian Telecom Consumer Year towards ensuring that the consumer experiences enhanced and consistent services in time and quality. In line with the Nigerian Communications Act 2003, Part 1, Article G, which protects the rights of service providers and consumers, the Commission embarked on Consumer Outreach Program with a view to interact, brainstorm and get feedbacks to chart a new course for the telecommunications sector.
The program is to enable tripartite meeting between regulators, operators and consumers to resolve pressing issues that has to do with consumer in the provision of telecom services.
The theme for the Consumer Outreach Program is information and education as a catalyst for consumer protection.
The topic has been carefully selected to reflect one of the cardinal objectives of the NCC,
in ensuring the protection of telecom consumers and empowering them to make rational and informed decisions when making their choices of services in the industry.
As a regulator, NCC is to ensure that all its key players are protected and their interests balanced in an atmosphere of openness and transparency within the framework of the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 and other subsidiary legislations. In Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
This is NTA News at 9. World Earth Day emphasizes on waste to wealth. These and other stories as we join Mina in our Port Harcourt Network studio. Hello, Mina. Over to you.
Good evening, Mohammed. Welcome to Port Harcourt. The Rivers State House of Assembly Committee on Education has commended efforts aimed at giving girl-child education a pride of place in Rivers State. Chidebere Onya has the details.
As part of its oversight function, House Committee, led by the chairman, Farah Dagogo, inspected the ongoing remodeling structures at the Girls' Secondary School, Rumokuta.
I also want to commend the governor. At least he should do more, not just this alone. He should do more in the state so that it will help our students.
State Commissioner for Education, Kaine Ebeku, while expressing appreciation to members of the committee for their visits, disclosed that by September 2017, the ministry will clamp down on unregistered schools operating in the state.
Too many unapproved quack schools operating across the state. This is not acceptable for many reasons. Firstly, they deliver presumptively poor quality education.
The visit also provided opportunity for a healthy interaction between other members of the committee and officials of the ministry. In Port Harcourt, Chidebere Onya, NTA News.
Experts on environment are strategizing on how to convert waste to wealth for safer and healthier environment in the Niger Delta. Vivian Ezadife reports that this was at the commemoration of this year's World Earth Day.
This year's World Earth Day provides the platform to educate the public on the benefit of protecting and safeguarding the environment from any form of degradation. In view of this, Foundation for Partnership Initiative in the Niger Delta, PIN, in partnership with other agencies, emphasized the need for economic development and peace building towards ensuring sustainable development in the region.
We need to now actually start to use the resources, natural resources that we have. So rather than trying to catch up, we start now with green technology in every area of our life.
Guest speaker and other facilitators who spoke on various topics, including the theme of the Earth Day, campaign for environmental and climate literacy, identified the challenges of global warming and advised the public to play down on activities that would damage the environment. From Warri in Delta States, Vivian Ezadife, NTA News.
That's it from Port Harcourt. Mohammed, it's back to you.
Thank you, Bina. The Nigerian Television Authority has again been commended for setting the pace for television broadcasting and promoting journalism profession in the country. The challenges of maintaining professionalism, objectivity, and patriotism were highlighted when a delegation from the Daily Stream newspaper visited the Director General of the NTA in Abuja. Oyemi Ajayi has details.
Daily Stream newspaper is yet another addition to the plethora of newspapers in the country, working to inform the public and hold to account those in leadership positions. The delegation was at the NTA to formally seek partnership with Africa's largest television network, the NTA, as the newspaper is formally presented to the public. Daily Stream, which made its debut in October 2015 as a weekly newspaper founded by a group of media professionals, is preparing to commence daily publication. The head of the delegation says practitioners must insist on professionalism.
Unfortunately, like most professions in Nigeria, journalism is also faced with the tragedy of decline in terms of productivity on the part of journalists. So we believe if organizations key into capacity building, for practicing journalists, I think it will go a long way in reviving, the profession.
NTA Director General Yakubu Ibn Mohammed represented by the Executive Director News, Muhammad Labo, assured the delegation of NTA support and partnership while challenging them to put the interests of Nigerians and Nigeria first.
You are operating in a very difficult environment, but with the vast experience that you collectively have, I hope you thrive.
Daily Stream newspaper is already in circulation in all northern states and Lagos. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The sum of 467.807 billion naira has been shared as allocation for the month of March 2017 for the federal, 36 states and the local government councils across the country. Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, disclosed these at the end of the monthly technical subcommittee meeting of the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, in Abuja. Chikunonso Nwabwezi has details.
The 467.807 billion naira total revenue distributed among the three tiers of government recorded surplus of 38.68 billion naira, largely due to increase in the average price of crude oil from $44.74 per barrel in the month of February to $52.86 per barrel within the month under review.
Gross revenue for the month of March is 299.93 billion naira. There is also gross VAT of 78.651 billion naira.
A breakdown of the net statutory revenue indicates that the federal government received 187.367 billion naira. Local government councils received 73.268 billion naira. In Abuja, Chukunonso Nwabweze, NTA News.
The UNDP, Japanese and Borno state governments distributes livelihood support items to returnees at the IDPs. Naomi in our Maiduguri studio is standing by to bring us details of this story and other stories from that zone. Good evening, Naomi.
Ahead of the deadline set for the relocation of internally displaced persons back to their communities, IDPs in Goza local government of Borno State have moved to Pulka town in the area by the Nigerian military.
Apologies for the loss of audio from our Maiduguri Network Center. We'll bring you developments around the world and sports update after the break.
Peace building and counter-terrorism initiatives in focus on this week's edition of Tuesday Live. Tuesday Live, incisive, informative and educative. Don't miss it.
Oga, customer they ask if we get reach 35 of this stereo. Hey, wait, make I confirm. Yes, Sonny. How many of that new stereo they aside? 7. Hang on, no, don't hang up, Papa. Prosper. How many of that new stereo you get? 12. Okay, hang on, no, don't hang up, Papa. Confidence. Make you do quick, carry a motor, go bring those news. What you say they do here? Come and go start the mouth, make you delete them. You know, start the business. See, I did there for one place. They use my phone, they control, they coordinate all my businesses with the Glow SME Flexi. And it's cheap, die.
New Glow SME Flexi lets your business operate efficiently for less. Get 1 hour talk time for more than 650 megabytes data or any combination of both for just 500 naira. Plus, reduce costs with special staff rates, a choice of unmatched data plans, and best international call rates. Call 200 now or visit your nearest Glow World. Glow Business. Together, we make business happen.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of Made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC impacts upon everything we do, including water we drink,
The food we eat, they are important organs to the development of this country. And everybody should come out and join them and support them and help them to achieve the greatest benefits and success that they need to record.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Now, stories from the international scene. The United Nations Children's Agency reports a high rise in number of measles cases in Somalia. For this and more on Global Tidbits, let's join Chidimma Ndubisi.
The United Nations Children's Agency stated that there are 5,700 reported measles cases, mainly among children displaced by drought in the last 4 months in Somalia. UNICEF has, however, vaccinated about 30,000 out of the 70,000 children living in the overcrowded, unsanitary camps where people fleeing drought gather. From Kenya comes a report that at least 24 people have died and many others injured when a passenger bus collided with a tanker carrying cooking oil near the capital, Nairobi. And the expelled United Nations Children's Agency country director in Tanzania has left the country on government orders. In the meantime, our United States submarine has arrived in South Korea amid worries of another North Korean missile or nuclear test. That's Global Tidbits. Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Now, sports update. Teams continue to intensify efforts for medals haul at the ongoing 25th Noga Games in Makurdi. And Akwa Ibom State emerges the winner of the National Junior Judo Competition in Port Harcourt. Kene Amabodike has details.
With few days to the end of the Nigerian University Games, teams have continued their search for medals as Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Bauchi qualified for men's volleyball final for the first time. Ahmadu Bello University Zaria are aiming for their 14th title in men's basketball after beating Adekule Adjacent University Akomba Akoko Ondo State 104 to 55 points.
We play a very good defensive game and we're a very good defensive team and we play the fast break.